Cool. Today, what I wanted to work on is shoulder stability. So we'll do a lot of work through kind of the scapula muscles, or what you might know as your shoulder blades. So those two kind of triangular bones on your upper back. We'll be working through how to properly activate those to help stabilize the shoulder, and specifically when going up and into a side plank, right, with that arm kind of posted on the ground. So we'll go through several different exercises, getting a little bit more familiar, we'll use that one, with that movement in the shoulder and how to work through that, and then working up to stabilizing nice and solid through our side plank. So that's what we'll be working today. Awesome. So we will start in a seated position. I'm actually going to start on my shins. If this is comfortable for you, join me here. If any other seat works better for you, you can do that as well. All right, just close the eyes for a moment. Just taking a couple breaths to center and ground yourself into your practice today. A couple deep breaths in and out. All right, noticing as you inhale that slight rise in your chest, the collarbones slightly lift. And as you exhale, sinking a little further into it here. Cool. So let's start with your hands either on top of your thighs or by your side, whatever's most comfortable. And we're just going to start with a few shoulder rolls here. So as you inhale, pull those shoulders slightly forward, pull them up towards your ears, pull them back behind you, and then down. And we'll repeat that motion. All right, kind of going at your own pace and exploring here a little bit. Noticing the movement in the shoulder. Notice as you pull the shoulders up and forward, how maybe you'll feel your shoulder blades kind of creep up the back a little bit as well. And then as you pull the shoulders back, the shoulder blades come together. As you pull them down, the shoulder blades pull down and maybe even slightly outward. All right, repeating these a couple more times. Good, and then let's go in the opposite direction as well. So pulling them back first, and then up, pull them forward, and then down. So just noticing that slightly different pattern. All right, noticing maybe this way feels a little more awkward to control. I try to make these movements as smooth as possible. So it might be a little kind of blocky and like shuddering if you don't have great control over the shoulders, or it might feel nice and smooth, but wherever you are, know that you're working towards it being as smooth as possible. Cool, so come back through center, and then let's, one at a time, we're gonna try to do opposite from one another. So as your right shoulder is going up, back, and down, and you can start that motion. And then have your left shoulder also go up, back, and down, but in different fashions. So your right shoulder moving first, and then your left, right? And as the more that you can kind of sync them together, but being slightly off, kind of offbeat from one another, staggered here. Good. And then go in the opposite direction, right shoulder first, then left. All right, so this might feel even more awkward. It might be more difficult to get that full smooth motion. All right, but building up that awareness in the shoulders. Good, nice. Shake these shoulders out a little bit. And we'll go both hands out to the side here. All right, so what we're going to do is external and internal rotation with the arms. As you inhale, turn the palms up to face the ceiling. Not just turning from the wrist or forearm here though. So not just turning here, but try to turn all the way from the shoulder. So as you inhale, turning the palms up, the shoulder blades kind of pull down the back a little. Your chest is opening up. And then exhale to turn the thumbs down, the palms face back away from you. Let that shoulder roll forward. So similar shoulder motions than in the drill that we just did. All right, inhale, rolling them back, thumb points back. Exhale, rolling them forward, thumb points down. Nice, inhale and exhale. All right, trying to maybe gain a little bit more range of motion each time through. Good, and let's go one more time like that. Exhale as the thumb points down, palm faces back behind you. And inhale, the thumb up, the shoulders and chest opening. Great, exhale, bring these shoulders back down. Kind of shake them out a little, anything that feels good. We're going back up into that same posture one more time with the arms up. Now we're going to kind of alternate. Your right arm, I want you to externally rotate. So we're turning the palm up, the shoulder pulls back as you turn the left thumb down. Good. And then we're gonna reverse. So it's like we're kind of wringing out a towel here. So turn that right thumb down, left palm up. And then reverse, right palm up, left thumb down, and reverse one more time. Good, bring it back through center. We can shake those out a little there. I can tell my shoulders are burning a little already from that. Cool, our next one, both arms from just down by your side. We're gonna inhale, palms face towards one another, and reach them both all the way up here. Nice, exhale, bring it back down. And then inhale, reach all the way up. Good, exhale to bring it down. Inhale, reach all the way up. One more time, exhale, we'll bring it down. Inhale, bring it all the way up. Good, from here, exhale, we'll bring the hands down to the floor. We're gonna come into a puppy pose. So hands flat on the floor, lift the hips up here. The knees might walk back a little further. The knees are under the hips. As you reach the arms out in front of you, drop the belly. All right, drop the chest, drop the chin. So we're getting this nice stretch through the arms. All right, reaching the arms out. Keep the elbows straight, right? If you let the elbows bend, you're gonna lose a lot of that stretch. So keep as if you're reaching out in front of you as much as you can through the hands, and think about the tailbone pulling back behind you. So you're lengthening through the spine. A couple big breaths here. Good. And then on your inhale, walk these hands back towards the body. Notice that same orientation of the arms. I want you to inhale, reach the arms all the way up. So again, the palms face one another, the thumbs pull back, and I want you to actively pull the arms into that same range of motion that we just created through that puppy pose. So try to keep the torso as straight as you can, the arms reach tall. Notice the shoulder blades kind of pulling down the back, squeeze the shoulder blades together, try to wrap the biceps in towards the ears. Nice. Good. And then as we exhale, bring these arms down. So we're starting to really strengthen and activate, bring those scapula muscles online here. Let's walk the hands all the way forward. We're coming into our Sphinx pose. So the forearms are gonna come down on the mat, the hips will lower. Good. Pressing the hands into the floor. I want you to just think about the hands pulling apart from one another as the elbows pull in towards one another. Right, so creating that kind of hugging motion with the elbows as the hands reach apart from one another. And again, engaging those external rotator muscles through the shoulder. The chest lifts. And then let's stretch out the side of the neck, so your right ear towards the right shoulder. So we're stretching out this left side of the neck and down into the trap muscle. The trap muscle is responsible for pulling the shoulders up towards the ears. So we're lengthening it out, getting used to that motion of pulling the shoulder away from the ear so we can create more space there. Let's inhale, bring the head back through center, and then exhale the left ear towards the left shoulder. Good. Inhale, bring it back up and through center with the forearms as they are. We're going to go through some kind of segmentation of the spine, engaging the core to eventually lift up here. So a few times from here, we're going to exhale as we tuck the chin under, press the floor away, thinking about your cat position, lifting the belly, and then lifting the hips. Keep the knees down, press through the floor. As you exhale, lower the hips, lower the belly, lift the chest, lift the shoulders. Let's do that a few more times. Exhale, tuck the chin, pull the rib cage in, belly button pulls in, lift the hips. Good, and then exhale, lower it back down, lifting. Good, again here, exhale, tuck the chin, round the spine, lift the rib cage, belly button, and hips. Nice, and then lower it back down. And our last one, tuck the chin, round the spine, lift the belly, lift the hips. Hold here a little longer. Think about your elbows pulling towards your feet or your knees pulling towards your elbows. For 3, 2, and 1. Lower those hips back down. Let's take pressing back into our puppy pose once again. So the hips press all the way back, lengthen out through the spine, reach through the shoulders, right? Arms stay straight. That might feel a little easier. I'm sorry, I reached all the way back to a child's pose. That's where we're going here. Child's pose, still with those arms totally straight. All right, so we'll bend through the elbows, hands to prayer position. Elbows maybe inch a little further forward, and then bend through the elbows, take that thumb to the back of the neck. All right, you might tuck your chin in a little further from here. Good. As we exhale, release, let those arms come out, and then come up into your tabletop position. Cool. Hands and knees. Maybe give a little sway out. Allow the back to release. Making those lateral movements. So kind of wagging your tail back and forth, side to side. Good. And then coming back through center, we're going to do a similar kind of cat-cow motion, but we're not going to go into full cat pose. So I want you to have the fingertips pointed straight forward, externally rotate the arms like we were just practicing. So it would be as if you were trying to pull the fingertips apart from one another. That's going to allow the inside pits of the elbows to really roll forward. And I want you to keep an eye on this. So noticing how this feels as that shoulder kind of pulls back and down into the joint, and it pulls away from the ear here. So we're going to set up there, keep that nice and strong. As you inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest. As you lift the chest, press through the floor, try to pull the chest through the arms. Right? The shoulders are pulling away from the ears. Try to reach the crown of the head a little further forward. Nice. And then as you exhale, just come back through your neutral position, but try to spread the shoulder blades on the back. So we're not going into a full rounding of the spine where those shoulders are going to come further forward. Just come right to your tabletop position, but try to press the floor away a little. So create space in between that upper back, in between the shoulder blades on the upper back. And then inhale to drop the belly. Notice the shoulder blades squeezing together. The shoulders pulling away from the ears, looking up. Good. Exhale, take it back to your tabletop. One more time. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest, pull the shoulders away. Good. Exhale, bring it back to your tabletop. Let's wag the tail a little, shake it out, get some stretching, some movement through the spine. Cool, and then we'll go through a very similar motion, but we're going to, so again, eliminating now the kind of dropping the belly, lifting the chest, so eliminating this arching in the back. We're gonna do the same thing, but we're just gonna be pressing through the shoulders. So set up your hands in the same position, fingers point forward, the inside pits of the elbows roll forward. From here, I want you to press the floor away, keeping the spine as straight as you can. So feel your shoulder blades pulling away from one another, spreading wider on the back. And then as you exhale, lower your chest through the shoulders, but try to keep as neutral a spine as possible. So the shoulder blades squeeze together. And then again, press through the hands, shoulder blades wide. Keep the ears away from the shoulders away from the ears. And then lower the chest back down, squeezing shoulder blades, neutral spine. One more time, exhale to press up, get the shoulders wide on the back. Good, and then lower the chest, shoulder blades come together. Nice. Inhale, bring it back to your neutral position from here. And then we're gonna tuck the toes under. Keep that same sensation in the arms, so the pits of the elbows are rolling forward. Think about trying to roll the biceps away from one another, pointing towards the front. Tuck the toes under and then lift into your down dog from there. All right, pedaling it out. All right, warming up the back side of the body through the legs. All right, but then find some stillness here. So as you're here, play with that, still trying to get as much external rotation in the arms as possible. So you're kind of rotating the inside pits of the elbows forward. They're not gonna be as forward as you were able to in your tabletop, but keep that motion happening here. Good, press the floor away so the shoulders kind of press forward slightly, draw the chest towards the thighs. All right, so then let's inhale, bend through the knees, look to the front, step it forward into our fold. Let's inhale to a halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, we'll fold. And then inhale all the way up, hands overhead. We're gonna reach up nice and tall. So now from this standing position, try to get the shoulders in full extension. Right, keep the core engaged, so as you reach the arms up, you don't get this arch in the lower back. Keep the core engaged, the lower rib cage pulling into your center line. Keep the arms reaching nice and tall. Good, palms face one another. Think about the shoulder blades pulling down the back, away from the ears a little more as you keep the core engaged. Good, on your exhale, let's take the arms by your side, clasp them behind the lower back. All right, so really broaden through the chest. We're squeezing the shoulder blades together as much as you can. The hands are clasped. Try to keep the palms of the hands pressing in towards one another. Your feet can be about hips width apart. Inhale to look up, open the chest a little more, squeeze those shoulder blades together. Feel that engagement in between the shoulder blades. And then as you exhale, you can bend through the knees here. We're taking our forward fold. Peel the wrists away from the lower back. All right, so those wrists are lifting and pulling away from the lower back as much as you can, keeping the palms pressing towards one another, the head and neck to hang loose. Good. And then as you inhale, I want you to slowly rise up. Keep the fists as far away from the lower back as you can. So come up through standing, pulling the fists away from the lower back. We're gonna hold here for 3. You should feel the backs of the shoulders and shoulder blade muscles really engaged for 2. Maybe even in the triceps here for 1. And then exhale, let's release and shake out those arms. Good, shake them out. Give the wrists a little shake, the elbows, the shoulders a little roll. And then inhale, rise up, arms overhead. Good, as you exhale, hinge at the hips, forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale, we'll go hands to the mat, step it back into your high plank, pause and hold here. So shifting high onto the toes, the shoulders roll forward over the wrists. Again, keep the inside pits of the elbows rolled forward. Your shoulders are rolling back. You're broadening through the chest, squeezing the shoulder blades back and down. I want you to hold, pause here, the same movement we did in our tabletop. We're going to try to really press the floor away, create more space in between both of the shoulder blades. And then as you inhale, lower the chest, right? But you're just moving through the shoulders. So press the chest up as high as you can through the shoulders, and then lower it down. Keep the arms totally straight here. We'll do 2 more. Press up, lower the chest, press back up, keep the shoulders away from the ears, lower the chest. Good, 1 more. Up, and then keep them in that position. The elbows are rolled forward. We'll go through your chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Good, exhale to your downward facing. Good, we'll take a couple breaths here. Keep trying to draw the chest further through the arms towards the thighs. So we're getting that shoulder stretch and opening here. Right, keeping that stability though, the inside pits of the elbows rolling forward, the triceps wrapping in towards one another. Good, and then as you inhale, bend through the knees, look to the front of the mat, step it forward into your fold. Let's inhale to a halfway lift, flat back. Exhale to fold. Inhale all the way up, hands overhead. We got 1 more time like that. Inhale the arms up nice and high. Right, stabilize the spine, engage the core. Rib cage pulls in, arms pull further back, palms face one another. Take another deep breath in here. Good, as you exhale, arms come down by your side and reach behind the lower back, clasping the hands together. Good, feet are about hips width apart. Inhale to look up, squeeze the shoulder blades together, pull the knuckles down towards the ground as the chest pulls up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, bend through the knees, take your forward fold. Good. From here, the knuckles are pulling up towards the ceiling and overhead. Bend through the knees however much you need to here. We can press the palms together, squeeze the shoulder blades together. And then as you inhale, slowly rise up, but keep the wrists away from the lower back as much as possible. Good. Keep them pulling, keep the shoulder blades squeezing. The shoulders are burning. We'll hold for 3, 2, and 1. Exhale to release. Inhale the hands up and overhead. Exhale, hinge at the hips, forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift, flat back. Good, exhale, hands to the mat, step it back to your high plank. Keep the arms nice and straight, inside pits rolled forward. 1 more for that kind of push up, plus lower the chest through the shoulders. Keep the arms straight, keep the core engaged, and then exhale, press the chest up. All right, lower the chest towards the ground, just 1-2 inches, and then press the chest away. Right, really engaging, stabilizing those shoulders. Very good, inhale, lower it down, upward facing, and then downward facing. All right, so inhale the right leg up. Exhale, step that in between the hands. I want you to keep your right hand down here. We'll inhale the left arm up. All right, coming into this twist, the thighs squeeze together. Think about really planting down into that right hand or left hand, pressing into the floor as the right lifts. Good. On your exhale, take this right hand. We're going to thread it under the left. As you straighten the front leg, the back heel can lower to the ground. Maybe the left hand comes off the ground a little, but reach that right hand through. And then bend back into the front knee, left hand plants, twist it back up. Let's do that 2 more times. Exhale, turn the back heel down as you straighten the front leg, reach the right arm through. And then inhale, come onto the ball of the back foot, your right hand lifts. 1 more time. Exhale, turn that back heel down, straighten the leg, reach. Good, inhale, open it back up. All right, so as we exhale, we're going to take that right hand to the inside of the foot, turn your back heel down. Let's open up Warrior 2. All right, sinking down into your Warrior 2, allowing the arms to reach in opposite directions. Nice. And I want you to focus on the shoulders here. So your arms are nice and strong. Reach as if somebody's pulling the front fingertips and the back fingertips apart from one another. The arms are totally parallel to the ground. Right? Make sure they're in a nice straight line. Relax the shoulders down. Try to squeeze the shoulder blades together. So you're really actively pulling the shoulder blades together as you're here. Good, inhale, turn the front palm up to face the ceiling, reach a little further forward, bend into that front knee, reach back and reverse. Really reaching. You can plant your left hand down on that back leg, but try to roll that shoulder back as well as you're reaching up. Good, inhale, we'll cartwheel the hands forward and down to the mat, step it back to a high plank. All right, from here, I'd like you to lower down to your forearms. So we're back to a forearm plank now. Option to lower the knees down, that's totally fine. Option to keep them lifted. Good. What I'd like you to do is roll onto that outer edge of your right foot. Your right forearm's gonna stay down, and let's lower the hips all the way down. So we're gonna work with this first. Let's bring that forearm parallel to the front edge of the mat. Your feet are stacked over top of one another. And notice, as you're kind of laying here, this right shoulder might have a tendency to creep up towards that ear. I want you to really press the whole forearm down into the mat to create as much space as possible from that shoulder to your ear. All right, so this might be enough. Notice as you do that, try to open up through the chest, squeeze the shoulder blade towards the center of your back behind you. All right, and this might be enough here, just holding that weight of your upper body. A couple other options. Maybe this left foot comes in front of the right knee as you try to lift the hips, right? And then lower back down. We're going to do a few of these. Or maybe the feet are stacked and we can lift the hips and lower back down. So notice as you lift the hips, you need to press harder into this forearm and keep the shoulder further away from the ears. So lift up and lower, lift and lower. One more. Lift and lower. Good. Let's roll back over and onto our stomach. Forearm planks. We're going to bring those hands by each side of the rib cage. From here, press up. We're going to tuck the toes, lift the knees, engage the core, press up, high plank. We can bring it back to our down dog. And then we'll inhale the left leg up. Exhale, step it in between the hands. Keeping that right hand down on the mat. All right, try to make a nice straight line with the body. Don't be all the way back here, but get that knee nice and forward. That hand plants into the floor and the inside pitted elbow is rolling forward. We're still externally rotating that arm. Whenever we're planting weight on our arm, we want that shoulder to be externally rotated so that it packs the shoulder into the joint and creates that stability. That's what we're working for. Inhale, the left arm up. Again, keep that motion, trying to externally rotate, get the right shoulder under the left as the left hand lifts. Good, and then as you exhale, take that left arm. We're going to turn the back heel down as you thread the left arm under the right. Right? Maybe even that right hand comes off the mat. That's okay. Start to twist. And then lower the right hand, raise the left. Notice your back heel. As we go into that twist, the back heel has to turn down and then come back up as we open up here. So exhale, turn that back heel down, straighten the front leg, reach the left arm through, and then the right arm comes back down. Inhale, the left arm up onto the ball of the foot. One more time. Exhale, that back heel down, reach through, straightening the front leg, and then inhale, we'll rise back up through that twist. All right, so as we exhale, bring that left hand down to the mat, turn your back heel down, open up, warrior two. So again, setting up strong base. I'm more concerned with your upper body here, but make sure you have a nice wide base, knee over the ankle, but I want the arms reaching out, both hands parallel to the ground, reaching, pulling in each direction here. All right, nice strong arms. Slightly externally rotating, pulling the shoulders away from the ears, and the shoulder blades will squeeze together. So squeeze them together a little extra here. Good, inhale, turn that front palm out to face ceiling, post your right hand on the back of the leg, reach the left arm up, keep that right shoulder pulling away from the ears, rotating back. Good, inhale, cartwheel the hands forward and down, step it back, high plank. We're gonna lower down to the forearms here. So we're back in that forearm plank. We're gonna roll to the left side this time. All right, so make that left arm parallel to the front edge of the mat. And then take your options here. We'll do those hip lifts. But first, press that shoulder away from the ear. right? Slightly externally rotating. Try to pull that scapula to the center of the back here. That's the motion that I want happening. Option for the right foot to go in front of the left knee. As you lift up, pressing into that left arm, keeping the shoulder away from the ear. Lower it back down. Or maybe both feet stack over top of one another. As you press into that left arm, lift the hips and lower back down. So lift and lower 2 more times. Lift and lower. Keeping the hips stacked over top of one another as well. Lift and lower. Good. Roll back onto the stomach. Taking the hands on each side of the rib cage. And tuck the toes under. Straighten the legs so the knees lift away from the mat. Engage the core so the pelvis starts to lift. Elbows squeeze into the body. Shoulder blades squeeze as we press up into our high plank. Taking it back to our down dog. Good. Let's inhale, bend through the knees, look to the front, step or hop forward into your fold. Let's inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Then inhale all the way up, hands overhead, reaching tall. We can exhale, hands down by our side. Good. Bring the feet close together here, big toes to touch. We're going to bend into the knees to bring the hands back behind our heels. So bend into the knees so that you can reach down, hands touch behind the heels, and then inhale, swoop the arms up into your chair pose. So keeping the hips low, I want you to focus on lifting the arms up as high as you can. Keep the chest lifted, the tailbone tucked. We're going to reach those arms up and back. Feel the shoulder blades squeeze together, pulling the shoulders away from the ears. For 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, forward fold. Going back down. Inhale, halfway lift. Good. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step it back, high to low plank. Let's just lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Good. Exhale to your downward facing. Nice. Good. Lower down to your knees from here, tabletop position. We're going to break down this side plank one more time, one more way. Keeping that right hand firmly planted here. Fingertips point forward, externally rotate this arm. We're going to kickstand that right foot out and the left foot is going to step back. All right, so we're in our modified side plank. Bring this left hand back down here. So I want you to notice that you're arranging the orientation of your body, of your rib cage around that shoulder, because that shoulder is going to stay stacked. So we're coming back down through our tabletop. And then open up. Good. Work this 2 more times. Left hand down. Open up. Side plank. 1 more. Left hand down. Open up. Side plank. Nice. Bring it back. Left hand down. Bring the left knee down. Do the same on the other side. Externally rotate the left arm. Hits of the elbows pointed forward. Kickstand that back foot. Right foot steps out. Good. Nice. So noticing that orientation of the chest around that shoulder, and then lower that right hand back down. So lift the chest over the shoulder, keep that strong orientation, shoulders are stacking. Notice the engagement of the shoulder as you kind of lift, pulling the shoulder under the chest. Right, so you're abducting from the arm to open up. 1 more time. Here we go. Good. Bring the hand back down. Bring it into your tabletop. We'll come up to our downward facing dog. All right, so then inhale the right leg up. Step it in between the hands. We're going to keep that left hand down and step back to our side plank. So turn to the outside edge of that left foot. The right foot is going to step it back. Keep that external rotation here. The shoulder blades pulling into your center line to open up the chest, stacking the chest and the rib cage over the shoulder. Maybe that right arm goes straight up. We'll hold, keep the hips lifting high for 3, 2, and 1. Good. Let's lower back down. We'll come into our high plank. All right, so then take it back to our down dog, stretching out the arm, maybe adding in that chaturanga if you want to. Good. Inhale the left arm up. Left leg up, I'm sorry. Exhale, step it in between the hands. So that right hand's gonna stay planted, externally rotate that arm, pulling the shoulder behind you, right? And use that pull, the engagement of the shoulder, to help stack the chest. As you roll onto the pinky edge side of the back foot, that shoulder stays really engaged, core is engaged as that foot slides back. Nice. Keeping the shoulder blades squeezing together behind you. Left arm lifts, the shoulders pulling away from the ear. Keep the core tight, the hips lifting for 3, 2, and 1. Left arm comes down. Nice, high to low if it's there for you. Inhale up. Exhale, down. Good. Let's inhale, shift forward through your high plank, core engaged. Good. Exhale, slowly lower all the way down. Very good. We're going to take our right arm, reach it all the way over to the left side. Your left arm is going to be on top of it, reaching all the way over to the right side. All right, so those hands are pulling as far apart as you can. They're under the chest. And then try to put the weight of your chest down onto the arms, stretching the shoulders. All right, slowing things down. Feeling that stretch in the shoulders, especially that right shoulder. Come back up, kind of onto the forearms. We're just going to switch it out. So the left arm's going to reach first, kind of under as if you're threading the needle. Palms face up on both of these. All right, that right arm's going to reach. It's a little awkward to get into. Make sure that the arms are under the chest though, so they're kind of, especially that left one, maybe even leaning forward into it a little. All right, stretching the shoulders. Hold. Nice. Good. Rise back up from here. And let's press back to a seat. We're just going to swing the legs around. Coming back to lying flat on the mat. Nice. Cool. So our knees are bent. We're going to do one more shoulder stretch before ending here. All right, we're going to come into our bridge pose first. So heels are hips width apart. Press into the heels. Lift the hips as high as you can. We'll start with my left arm because you can see me better on this side. What I want you to do is with this left hand, I want you to bend the elbow, reach to your lower back, and then bend that elbow as much as you can, reaching up to the opposite scapula as high on the back towards that right shoulder as you can. And then we're going to slowly lower down here. We can put all of our weight down on that arm. If it feels okay, you can kind of keep some of the weight in your feet, or maybe even straighten the legs all the way here, wherever you are. Let's take 3 breaths. So getting this kind of internal rotation stretch. So we're stretching the external rotators that we've been working on so much here. Good. We can bend back into the knees if they weren't there. Press into the heels, lift the hips, bring that left arm out to the side, and we'll do the same with our right hand. So we're going to take it behind the back, right, bending through the elbow, reaching up to our left left shoulder as much as possible. Good, and then slowly roll down onto that arm. All right, so the whole weight of your back's pressing down onto that arm. Again, if it's a little too much, maybe don't lower all the way down. Keep some weight in your legs, that's okay. Or maybe you can lower all the way down. Maybe the legs even straighten for a little more rest. And we'll hold about 3 breaths here. Cool, bending back into the knees, lift the hips. We're gonna draw that out. And take both hands overhead, keep the hips lifted, keep them overhead, reach all the way back. Come high onto the toes, lower down, one vertebra at a time through the back, rolling on the spine. Nice. Very good. Let the knees roll side to side a little here. Reach the arms straight overhead for a full body stretch. And then come up into a seated position. Cool. That is our practice for today. Opening up through the shoulders, working on that external rotation and stabilization. So please let me know what you thought. Ask me any questions that you might have. But thank you for joining here today. Enlighten me honors the light in you. Namaste. Thank you for watching Kula Wellness on YouTube. Please consider subscribing by clicking on the subscribe button below.